Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife but couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had another and didn't love her. Up the chimney he did shove her. Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater.
Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can achieve this Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater inspired makeup look. So the inspiration for this makeup look actually came to me on a hot summer's day, and I was listening to creepypasta in my car while driving, as one casually does. And the creepypasta for Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater came on. Now I have heard of the Nursery rhyme, and when this came on, it took quite the turn, and immediately I was just harassed by images and my own imagination. I just knew in that moment that I needed to bring my horrific imagination to life this Halloween. So I will have the full creepypasta linked down below for you guys if you just want to spook yourselves out. Now last year I actually did another creepypasta inspired makeup look, and that was inspired by the angel statue creepypasta, and so I knew this year I wanted to do another creepypasta inspired, so this one just happened to fit perfectly. My goal is for every year to have a creepypasta inspired makeup look, just because I feel like that's really fun and creative for me to do, and to kind of just let my imagination take me wherever it wants to go. And also it's taking two passions, mixing them together, and just making a really fun passion project. At every influencer ever who just says passion project. This most definitely could also pass for a zombie. If you guys are interested, you can just make this not look like pumpkin seeds, you can make it look like flesh. It works. So anyways, with all that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve this Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater inspired makeup look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so to start off, we're just going to be gluing down our eyebrows. You're going to start off by brushing up all of your brow hairs before running an Elmer's washable glue stick through them, waiting for them to get tacky, and then brushing them upwards again, and setting them with some Airspun translucent powder. You can also use baby powder if you'd like, or maybe you're on a budget, and then you're just going to be repeating this process. I personally did this about 5 times for each eyebrow, just to make sure that it was as covered as possible, and honestly, you could keep building it up if you wanted. The biggest thing is you just want to make sure it's smooth. Then of course you're just going to be doing this to your other eyebrow as well.
I shaved my eyebrows.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Next, I'm going to be taking my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in number 20 and just applying this all over my eyebrow, blending it out, and then going over it one more time just to make sure that it is as opaque as possible. I'm then going to be taking my NYX Total Control Foundation in Porcelain and just applying this on the upper half of my face, making sure to blend it out and definitely try and make it look like your skin but paler essentially. We're then going to be taking our Mare on Paradise paint in black and just applying this over the mouth area and bringing it up into a creepy Joker-like smile. We're then going to be taking our liquid latex and applying that on the outside of the mouth before going over that with a cotton ball, pulling it into the strips, and then continuing to cover that with the latex so that that will seal the cotton ball. And you're going to just be continuing this all around the mouth, so you're almost kind of creating a sewn shut mouth sort of look, but you definitely want to still be able to move your mouth and talk and breathe and, you know, basically do all of your normal human functions. Being that this is a Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater inspired look, I took some inspiration from my Scary Pumpkin makeup tutorial because I absolutely loved how that looked, and so I kind of wanted to pull some aspects of that into this look as well. We're going to be going back into our Mare on Paradise paint in black and then just going over the black once again just to make sure it's opaque and that we are covering up any spots that we might have missed with the latex. We're going to be going back into our Total Control Foundation, and you want to apply this over your latex and cotton as well just so that it blends into your face. We're then going to be taking our PPI Skin Illustrator Alcohol Activated Flesh Palette, taking Cedar Brown and Midnight Brown, and just applying that around the mouth area just to kind of add a little bit more definition to the mouth itself. And you definitely want to make sure to have a fan nearby because the alcohol will definitely be quite sensitive to your nose and you want to be able to breathe. So just make sure to blow that away if you are getting sensitive. We're also going to be taking our rose adjuster and applying that lightly all over the mouth. I'm going to have it be a little bit more opaque directly outside of the mouth and then lightly blending it up towards my cheeks. We're then going to be going into our Skin Illustrator FX palette, and we're going to be taking black and lightly applying that around the little strands of the mouth as well. We're also going to be taking our vein tone and creating a bunch of tiny veins coming outwards from the mouth and also bringing that up around the eyes and the forehead as well. Once again, keep in mind that the fumes on these can be somewhat intense, so if you are going to be directly around the eye area and that makes you uncomfortable, I would recommend using a grease paint or an eyeshadow just so that it isn't too sensitive towards your eyes. Honestly, with these contact lenses in, nothing could really hurt my eyes more, so this was kind of fine. You're also going to be taking some brown eyeshadow and just applying that right under your brow bone and bringing it down towards your nose. We're going to really try and hollow out some areas of our face, so you're going to be putting this around your temples as well, and even bringing it down to your cheekbones just to really help bring out the skull-like shape of your face. Being that we're going to be showing our chest too, you also want to make your chest pale with your porcelain foundation and also start to define the chest areas. You're basically just going to be outlining all of the areas that you can see your bones sticking out, which would be, you know, your collarbones, your shoulders. You just want to make yourself look as skinny and famished as possible. We're also going to want to define this with some black eyeshadow, so we're just going to be going over all of the areas that we applied the brown eyeshadow and just lightly darkening them up. You're going to definitely want to be making sure to blend this as you go. You definitely want to still see the intensity of the black eyeshadow, but you don't want it to literally look like it was painted on, so that is why it is important to be able to blend. You're also going to be bringing this down onto your eyes and around the eyes as well, just to really hollow those out. Then you're going to scrunch up your face and create the wrinkles in between your brows just so you can always have that confused, angry look. And then you're going to want to be going in to your Morphe 35B palette, taking the white eyeshadow and just applying a little highlight onto the brow bone so it looks like it is really sticking out of your face. As you can see, we're just going back in with the black eyeshadow and just deepening up the contours of the brown eyeshadow from earlier and really trying to make us look malnourished. So you definitely want to deepen up that eye socket and the temple and cheekbone area. Next, we're going to be going into this lavender eyeshadow color, and we're going to be applying that under the eyes as well. This is not only going to make the eyes look bruised, but almost kind of add a light vein tone towards it. And you're wanting to apply this onto your forehead as well, and even bring it down onto your chest. And to apply it on the chest and make it look like broken up and basically look dead, you're just going to want to stipple this on in dotting motions, and that is going to automatically kind of break up the foundation from earlier. We're also going to be going back in with some of our eyeshadows just to once again deepen up some of the contours of our chest. And next we're going to be taking our Mare on Paradise paint in orange, and since this is a Peter Pumpkin Eater look, we need some pumpkin guts on our face. So I'm just going to be using a brush to splatter this all over my face before going into my Walmart Vampire Blood and just applying this to run down my body, almost as if we just ate somebody and we just casually have blood dripping down our body, and you're also wanting to apply it on your chest, like either you got scratched or your victim is just spraying blood all over you. Honestly, just be creative with this. Next, we're going to be making some gelatin pumpkin guts. You're going to need a microwavable bowl, some gelatin, you're going to be needing some glycerin, some water, a measuring cup, something to color your gelatin. In this case, I have yellow and red Mare on liquid makeup, some pumpkin seeds, and something to stir your gelatin, preferably disposable, and in this case, a plastic knife. No! I'm going to start off by taking 1 cup of my gelatin and just putting that into the bowl. You're also going to do 1 cup of water and 1 cup of your vegetable glycerin before beginning to mix it. Now, something to know about this project is it is equal parts. It's a ratio of 1:1:1, so you're just going to be adding those together, mixing it. And something to know, for this specifically, you do not need 1 cup. I would maybe recommend 1/4 of a cup, but the only reason I made more was because I figured I could use these fake pumpkin guts in something else, but the average person doesn't need an entire bowl full of gelatin pumpkin guts when you're only going to use a tiny bit. So I just would recommend probably 1/4 of a cup, maybe 1/2 a cup, but really you definitely don't need a full cup. You're then going to be putting this in the microwave for no longer than 12 to 14 seconds. You don't want this to boil. Then you're going to be taking it out, stirring it, and just keep putting it in until you get it to a nice and smooth consistency, like so. I personally put this in probably like 5 to 10 times. You just want to keep going until it is completely smooth and that there are no chunks in it anymore. And then we're going to be coloring it. I'm going to be taking my Mehron yellow liquid makeup and just putting 5 drops of this in before stirring and mixing it all in so that you can see the pigment that you have. And then we're going to be slowly adding the red pigment, because once again, we do want this to look kind of like a tangerine color, nice and yellowy and orange, but red is so pigmented, you don't want to straight up add 5 drops. Even though I ended up using 5 drops, you just want to slowly add them until you get the color that you like, simply because red is so pigmented, and after that, it's going to be really hard to kind of get less of a pigment. So the great thing about gelatin is you can actually remelt it once it is hardened and solidified, and you can actually keep this for about up to a year. So I actually went ahead and just remelted it, and then I am going to be taking my pumpkin seeds, applying that into my gelatin, mixing it up, and testing it on your hand to make sure that it is not too hot so that you won't burn your face, and then going ahead and applying this so that it is dripping from my mouth. You definitely want to have something under you so that the gelatin doesn't get onto carpet or anything, but I definitely want to have that hanging pumpkin gut kind of feel. You know when you carve pumpkins and you have those disgusting pumpkin guts and the strings and everything? You want that coming out of your mouth. We're then going to be taking our Mehron Paradise paint in black and just kind of darkening up some areas of this just to make it look a little bit more disgusting before we go back into our vegetable glycerin, and you're just gonna let your hair down and just put this in your hair to really make it look greasy and wet. Another great thing is we're going to be applying it on our body as well so that we look sweaty, and if you want to make realistic sweat, just mix this with some water as well, and you can actually spray it on actors to really make them look sweaty and have it stay all day. I'm also going to be taking a few more of my gelatin pumpkin guts and just applying that down my neck and onto my body as well. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my Halloween videos. I upload a new Halloween themed makeup tutorial every weekday for the month of October, and every Saturday I upload a Spoopy Saturday, which is basically just a fun video to kind of take a little break from all of the makeup tutorials. So anyways, with all of that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Honestly, I could have just done this, and this is creepy enough, don't you think?